Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where it is Monday again, meaning you know what time it is. Another episode of Wayne Sharp Week, highlighting the knives that are going to be in my pocket for the next 5 days. Now, before I get into this list, which is a very exciting list, one of the more exciting Wayne Sharp Weeks that I've had in quite a while, just because there's so many new knives. Some very different ones, kind of a little more custom builds, and a prototype of a very exciting knife that I've been really itching to get my hands on, and now I have it, so you're going to see it in the carry this week. But before I get into that list, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Also want to give a huge shout out to all my sponsors up here: DLT Trading, Blade Ops, Caviso, White Mountain Knives, Mojave Outdoor, and Steel Capital. That is quite the list. Very proud to be working with all of these retailers. Really appreciate their support of my channel. And guys, give them your business if you can, because without them, it'd be very hard for me to do what I do on such a regular basis. Now, with that being said, let's hop into the list this week, because we've got some really good ones. And we're going to start off with the first two. This was sent in by Mr. Eugene Krabs, who is a regular viewer on the channel. I want to give a huge shout out to him and thank you for these two, because they are awesome and I cannot wait to put them in the pocket. And this one here is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 Wharncliffe blade with some Flytanium contoured carbon fiber scales and an MXG deep carry clip. Murdered out. Could not be more unique, and I really do enjoy this. I have to say, I really do like my PM2 right here that I've had for quite a while. You guys have seen this on the channel numerous times. And how these two compare and how they differ from each other are pretty darn impressive. Obviously, the blade, in my opinion, is the biggest difference. The handle is really just as big of a difference, but at the end of the day, it always comes down to the blade and just how useful it is. And just to get you kind of a side-by-side to take a look at these two in terms of the blade differential, same size blade, obviously, just a completely different edge and completely different blade shape. But also very important to note that the contouring on these Flytanium carbon fiber scales is very nice. You kind of see why can I not think of that? the differences in the handle, whatever. It's been quite a day so far, but nonetheless, as you can see, the contouring, how I forgot the word contouring. I should really just restart this video, but I'm not. We're going to keep chugging along because I don't quit. So here we go. But no, the contouring is very nice, and it's not all over the handle. It is. As you can see, it's round on the top and bottom, but it's even more kind of with more of an exclamation point along where your fingers are wrapping around where your index finger is. And as you wrap around the belly, there's even that extra little bit of contouring that starts pretty much where that line is. As you can see with the different type of finish on the carbon fiber, you see where those differences are, and there's also some back there. Really does conform to your hand extremely well, but I'll be totally honest. This may not make sense to some people, but I honestly like the feeling of my personal PM2 in hand just as much as the contoured carbon fiber from Flytanium. They both feel excellent. They really do. And this would probably differ from person to person, because I do have a little more, like, I don't know, my hands are a little wider. So I feel like if you have smaller hands, you probably would really enjoy the contouring a little more on this PM2, a little more than I do. But as is, they're both great. And I gotta say, I really do love the all blacked out. And this blade, this Wharncliffe blade is very nice. I think I'm going to do a review on this and just kind of highlight all the things that I love about the Paramilitary 2 in general, and maybe throw my own personal one in there, because I've never really actually reviewed the Paramilitary 2. So I probably should, because there's a blue million versions of it out there, and you have so much creativity to put together what you want. This one here is just, it really is a good one. Detent's a little stronger than mine. He's got some a heavier lube on it. And at the end of the day, that blade is, that is one useful sucker, and it is razor sharp, as would be expected with any Paramilitary 2. So that's going to be the first one in the pocket this week. And then next up, the second knife that Mr. Eugene Crab sent me is the Mallory Designs Phorus. Now, this is one that I kind of slept on when it came out. Not on purpose, I just didn't quite have the funds at the time. Dylan Mallory, if you guys have not heard of him, great dude in the EDC community. I've had a little closer communication with him at times, and he's always been a joy to converse with, and he's actually helped me out a couple times. So he is a great dude, and he makes amazing designs, and this one here really is. I knew it would be good when I saw the pictures and I saw him, talking about it. It's even better than I thought it'd be in terms of ergos and action. I can't remember who this was OEM'd by, who made this, but I will have a full review of this knife and cover all those details in that. I don't know a whole lot about it right now, other than the fact that obviously Dylan Mallory designed it, and got some pretty darn smooth action. And again, another slicey blade, that full flat grind, or just about full flat grind. Really nice, useful tip at the end of that sucker, and it carries pretty darn well in the pocket with a pocket clip that has not been annoying at all. It feels really good in hand. What you do feel, it's a pretty quiet pocket clip, and you guys know how much I like that. You know how much I like my milled titanium clips. So this has been a bit of a hit, and I have really been enjoying this. And again, I'm excited to put this in the pocket this week as well, the Mallory Designs Phorus. Now, next up, I've got a couple Kaisers here, and I'm going to kind of maybe carry them together because they're basically the same knife, just little different flavors of a model. This is the Kaiser Cozy. You guys saw me unbox it, I believe, was it Saturday? I can't remember what day that uploaded. But very nice, a little more of just a basic knife, just a standard flipper. Pretty good ergos. Now, there are some considerable differences between these two knives right here. I've got a full review coming of them. I can say right now, it's not like I totally dislike one for the other. They're both pretty darn nice, but there are some significant differences that will be highlighted that I think people will probably want to know about. So that's coming your way as well. And of course, the Kaiser Cozy is going to be in the pocket this week. And now next up, this here is a prototype from Mr. Designs. If you guys have heard of him before, most likely I've had his original, another prototype from him, the Zero, which was a button lock on the channel earlier this year. This one here is the Mr. Designs Ronin, and there is a lot to talk about with this knife. This is a very, it is very unique, different, but there's some aspects to it in terms of build that you don't see every day. It is an integral frame, and there's a lot of other things to talk about. I don't want to give away too much in this video there because there's definitely a full review coming to this guy. Very impressive. There's some things that I've noticed that I'll be giving some feedback to Mihai. I believe his name is Mihai or Mahi. I apologize for forgetting the name. There's been a lot coming through the channel lately. It's been great, but it's been a little more of a challenge to keep everything together because things are going so well, which are good things, great challenges. But yeah, there's so many amazing people in this community. It's hard to keep everyone separated sometimes. But I absolutely love this design in terms of ergos. It is very good. I can say that right now. Very smooth in the hand. Especially, I think this is going to be a knife that is going to fit very well in just about everybody's hand, unless you have like massive meat paws, which I don't. I mean, a little bigger than the normal hand, but it's going to feel good in a lot of hands. It has a very nice Tanto blade on here with a grind that should be expected from a Tanto, at least in terms of what I like to see. Flat grind at the tip, hollow grind along the belly, and the integral frame lock is very nice. I don't think I've had many integrals on the channel at all, maybe one or two. And I've reviewed a lot of knives, and integrals are just something that I haven't had a lot of on the channel, so I'm really happy to get this one on and bring it to you guys. And yeah, some very good things going on with Mr. Designs. He has an eye. There's some guys that just have it, and I do feel like he has a very unique eye for designs, and he likes to incorporate elements into knives that you don't see you don't see every day. So really excited to get a little more acquainted with this and get a little more facts and info for you guys and let you know just what I think of it. And of course, there's going to be some information linked below, not just for this knife, but for all the knives on here. If you want to learn more about Mr. Designs, that information is linked below. Definitely a designer in the community you want to keep your eye on. He's definitely got some pots boiling, and I think they're going to be enjoyed by a lot of people. So that is the Mr. Designs Ronin, and we will move on to our last knife that will be in the pocket for this week, and that is the Kaiser Domain, which I have really come to enjoy this knife in terms of just the overall feel in hand and this blade shape. It's just a very, very safe knife to go with. There's not a lot of cons to this knife. I honestly can't think of any. It checks all the boxes from quality, price, action, ergos. It's just a winner. It's just a winner. It's in a long list of winners from Kaiser. As you guys know, Kaiser just makes a lot of good knives. And one other thing that I've seen from them a lot lately that I really enjoy, and I think other people will probably agree with me, is when they get a good design, they don't just make a run of it and move on to the next one. Some companies do that. That can be really disappointing if you miss out on the first run. Kaiser has went back, looked at what's been selling, look at what's been enjoyed, and they've been bringing them back for people. They've gotten a lot better at keeping them in stock. Some of the models have been really hard to keep in stock, and I've heard some people show frustrations about that, but it's hard to keep them in stock for a reason. It's because they're great knives and affordable knives, and that's always going to be an issue. You always have to, kind of take calculated risks in how many you make. You can't just make 100,000 knives and hope they all sell out because they're really popular. You still have to, use some strategy into your manufacturing process. And Kaiser's doing that, and they're getting a lot better at it, and they're still cranking out the great designs. So just exciting things going on over there. And this one is just another good example of that. Love the feeling in hand, love the option to choke up, and even if I don't want to, it still feels just as good. The easy liner lock access, and buttery guillotine drop shot action makes this one a little extra enjoyable. This is the Kaiser Dolmen. Last knife in the pocket for this week, and there you go, guys. That's my lineup for this week. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know what you think about these new knives and Paramilitary 2s. I kind of want to have a discussion just on Paramilitary 2s and Para 3s in general, because I love the options you get with that model or those models. This is a prime example of one that is just a really nice, relatively creative build, and it's a fantastic one for me. Really like the options that Eugene Krabs went with on this Paramilitary 2. The Phorus is great, and just a good spread of knives for this week. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what's going to be in your pocket this week. Really hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you all have safe and productive weeks. Have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.